Hello, and welcome to Preschool Storytime. I'm Miss Claire from the Chattanooga Public Library. Preschool Storytime is for children ages 3 to 5, but everyone is welcome. Now, we are going to be reading about something special today. And I'm filming at home, so I don't have to wear a mask. But if you come to Curbside at Northgate, you might see me in this mask that Miss Della made. Can you guess what we're going to read about today? Can you see the elephant? Isn't that a fun mask? We are reading about elephants today, and our first book is called How to Find an Elephant, and it's by Kate Banks with pictures by Boris Kulikoff, and it is published by Margaret Ferguson Books and imprint of Farrar Straus Giroux. Do you know how to find an elephant? I don't, but we're going to learn. The best time to look for an elephant is on a dull day when clouds hover on the horizons looking like spaceships, and you're thinking up something to do. The best place to find an elephant is in the wild. You will need to pack some food and a pair of binoculars. You may want to take a flute and bring a blanket, one that's tasseled and brightly colored with a story woven through the cloth to tell the elephant. The first thing you'll want to do is climb to the top of the nearest tree. Take out your binoculars and look for something large and gray. See anything large and gray? If you don't see an elephant, then you will have to go into the jungle. Keep an eye out for elephant footprints. They look like this. Got a sign. But don't expect to hear the elephant's footprints because elephants walk on tiptoes. Do you see any elephants in the trees or behind? We're going to have to look very carefully. When you get thirsty, stop at a watering hole for a drink. While you are there, you can take a dip. And don't forget that elephants are fine swimmers. If you come to a house, knock on the door and politely say, "Has anyone seen an elephant?" And if no one has, then go deeper into the jungle. Do you see any elephants? It may start to rain, but you can take shelter under a large leaf. While you wait out the storm, play a tune on your flute. You are bound to be hungry, so find a soft, shady spot and have your lunch. In case an elephant decides to join you, gather some bamboo shoots and tree bark for the elephants to eat. You will need plenty because elephants have big appetites. No pizza or chips, please. At some point, you'll probably bump into a chimpanzee. If you're feeling brave, ask if you can swing on its vine. Be sure to jump off when you see an eagle's nest and ask the eagle to carry you over the trees to the edge of the jungle. When you get there, take a good look around, and if you happen to spot something big and gray, tiptoe closer. You'll want to see if it's an elephant or not. If it's not an elephant, then you'll just have to keep looking. And if you begin to feel tired, go to the top of a hill that has long, lush grass swaying in the breeze and some crickets to sing you to sleep. Spread out your blanket and lie down. Remind yourself to have sweet dreams of elephants. If you should be wakened by the ground shaking and find yourself wrapped in a hug and lifted toward the sky, then you will know that an elephant has found you. And there they go. That's how to find an elephant. You think you're ready to look for one? I don't know if I am. I have. 4 purple elephants. And we're going to see if we can balance them on the string here. What do you think? Do you think they can balance on a string? One, so I mean, the ears are different, but they're all purple elephants. One purple elephant balancing step by step on a string thought it was such a wonderful stunt, he called for another elephant. Here we have, what color ears? Green ears. Or a green ear. Whoop. Just a little bit. There we go. 2 purple elephants balancing step by step on a piece of string. They thought it was such a wonderful stunt, they called for another elephant. Now we have 3 elephants balancing step by step on a piece of string. They thought it was such a wonderful stunt, they called for another elephant. 4 elephants balancing step by step on a piece of string. When all of a sudden the string broke, whoops, and down went all of the elephant folk. Miss Claire didn't do a good job of breaking that string, did she? But that's okay. I have a friend here. And this book is called Elmer and the Hippos. It's by David McKee. And it is published by Anderson Press, USA. And my friend here was very interested in listening to this story. Does this look like this is Elmer? So he's going to sit and just listen for right now. Elmer and the Hippos. Elmer the patchwork elephant was having a friendly chat with Lion and Tiger when 3 angry elephants came by. Elmer, said one, the hippos have come to live here. Tell them to go, Elmer, said the second. There isn't room for them and us. What if they don't want to go? Asked Elmer. Then we'll make them, said the third elephant. Said Elmer. Let me talk to them. Hello, hippos, said Elmer. Hello, Elmer, said the hippos. Elmer, said one. We know we're not wanted here, but our river has dried up, and we have to have a river. Make yourself at home, said Elmer. I'll speak to the elephants. Elmer told the elephants about the hippos' problem. Imagine if our river dried up, he said. The elephants agreed to let the hippos stay, but grumbled because the river would be crowded. I'll take a look at their river. The hippos' river was completely dry. Strange, thought Elmer. I wonder what happened. And he set off along the dry riverbed. At last he came to some cliffs. The gap where the river normally flowed was blocked by a pile of rocks. The rocks fell and stopped the river, a bird said. Move the rocks and the river will flow again, thought Elmer. But that means a lot of work. What do you think? Can you see where they need to move all those rocks? That's a lot, isn't it? On his way home, Elmer visited his cousin Wilbur. Come on, Wilbur. I need your help. Good, said the elephants when they heard the news. The hippos can move the rocks, get their river back, and go home. It will take them ages, said Wilbur. They don't have trunks. Still, they can stay here and use our river. An elephant said, if we help, it will soon be done. Right, said Elmer. Get a good night's sleep. We'll start early in the morning. The next morning, Elmer called the hippos. Come on, we're going to get your river back. Are you feeling strong? The elephants and hippos were soon bragging about how strong they were as they marched along. When they saw the rocks, the bragging stopped, and they set to work, pushing and pulling the rocks from the gap. As the pile became smaller, the elephants and the hippos all became dustier. I'd love a nice dip in the river now, said an elephant. Keep working and you'll soon be able to, laughed Elmer. Sometime later, a hippo shouted, "Water!" as the first trickle came through the rocks. "Careful," said Wilbur. "It will come with a rush." And it did. The water suddenly poured through, pushing the last of the rocks out of the way. Cheering and laughing, they all plunged into the river and forgot their tiredness as they washed off the dust and played in the water. That looks fun, doesn't it? When they finally parted, the hippos thanked the elephants and said, "Come and visit us any time." "You too," said the elephants, "any time." Later, Elmer said, "You were all pretty friendly with the hippos in the end." "Of course," said an elephant. "Besides, imagine if our river dried up." And that is Elmer and the hippos. Wasn't that wonderful how they work together? Okay, I'm going to move Elmer because we have hippos that might need to take a bath. Hippos. We have elephants that need to take a bath. And here is our bathtub. I'm going to set it right here. But I'm going to need you to help. We're going to have one elephant in the bathtub going for a swim. And then we're going to clap our hands twice. Knock, knock. And then can you slap your knees? Splash, splash. So knock, knock, splash, splash. Come on in. Can you help me do that? All right. Let me get my elephants. What's our first elephant? He looks purple to me, but I think he looks blue. He's kind of that color. So we're going to put him he's going in the bathtub first. One elephant in the bathtub going for a swim. Can you go knock, knock, splash, splash. Come on in. There we go. Two elephants in the bathtub going for a swim. Knock, knock, splash, splash. Come on in. What's our next one? I forgot to say that was pink. What is this one? Orange. Look, I'm knocking over my bathtub here. That's because I didn't get this one didn't go in the bathtub. There we go. Three elephants in the bathtub going for a swim. Knock, knock, splash, splash. Come on in. And what about this one? Green. There's slipping back in there. Four elephants in the bathtub going for a swim. Knock, knock, splash, splash. Come on in. What's this one? Yeah, he's red, isn't he? There we go. Five elephants in the bathtub going for a swim. Knock, knock, splash, splash. Come on in. Uh-oh, they all fell in. Did they fall into the bathtub, or was the bathtub a lake? I don't know. Do you know I Dream of an Elephant? We could practice our colors again. This is by Amy Rubinger, and it is published by Abbeville Kids. Jumping and playing the whole morning through, I dream of an elephant whose color is blue. What do you think's next? Friends all around, what a popular fellow. I dream of an elephant whose color is yellow. You are so right. So smart. Watch out, Flower, she's skipping ahead. I dream of an elephant whose color is red. Good job. The animals all love a rocking routine. I dream of an elephant whose color is green. color is that one? Is it brown? So lazy and large, he just has to sit down. I dream of an elephant whose color is brown. Think. This clumsy dancer doesn't care what the birds think. I dream of an elephant whose color is pink. You see, she's got ballet shoes on, or ballet slippers, I guess they're called. From behind, all I see is one giant circle. I dream of an elephant whose color is purple. She wishes those rain clouds would just go away. I dream of an elephant whose color is gray. At midnight, by moonlight, he showers his back. I dream of an elephant whose color is black. Can you see that elephant? Playing in piles of snow, what a sight! I dream of an elephant whose color is white. Good job. What about this one? Oh no, he is orange. How will I rhyme? I'll dream of this elephant some other time. And here's a big question for you. Together at last, this colorful team. When elephants sleep, I wonder if they... Do you think they dream? I bet they do. Look at all those elephants. I dream of elephants. Are you ready for our elephants on a spider's web? Let's see. We have 5 elephants, but we're going to start 1 through 5. One elephant went out to play on a spider's web one day. He had such enormous fun, he called for another elephant to come. Can you help me? Oh, elephant. Oh, there's another elephant. Where should we put him? Right there. So 2 elephants went out to play. Well, maybe not. Miss Claire can't get it to stick down. 2 elephants went out to play on a spider's web one day. They had such enormous fun, they called for another elephant to come. Can you help me? Oh, elephant. Here comes another elephant. 3 elephants went out to play on a spider's web one day. They had such enormous fun, they called for another elephant to come. Oh, elephant. Here comes another, number 4. 4 elephants went out to play on a spider's web one day. They had such enormous fun, they called for another elephant to come. Oh, elephant. Here's number 5. Hoping he will stick on there. There we go. 5 elephants went out to play on a spider's web one day. They had such enormous fun, but there were no more elephants to come. Only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are gray. These look like elephants we might see in the wild, right? Or at the zoo. I've got one more story for you. This is the goose egg. Can you see the egg on top of the elephant? And this is by Liz Wong. And here are pictures of Henrietta when she's by herself. And this is published by Alfred A. Knopf. Henrietta loved quiet. She savored the stillness of the morning as she sipped her Darjeeling. She loved the soft rustle of the newspaper as she turned its pages. And more than anything, she loved the lake. The lake could be noisy on the surface, geese, but Once Henrietta slipped below the surface, there was only the faint murmur of the water. She lost herself in her thoughts. What's that? Is that a goose? There's a nest up there, isn't it? Oops. Sometimes she got a little too lost. Oop, bonk. Henrietta's thoughts scattered. She went home to collect herself. She gently felt her sore head. What a lump, a real goose egg. So she bandaged her head and kept quiet, waiting for the bump to heal. Until... crack! She felt the top of her head, and she felt something soft, something fuzzy, something like a baby goose. Mama! Oh my, that was a real goose egg. Henrietta ran back to the lake, found a nest, and carefully placed the baby goose inside. Henrietta waited and waited. Mama, I'm sure your mother will be back soon. But no mother bird appeared. Henrietta couldn't just leave poor Goose alone. She scooped her up and took her home. From then on, Henrietta's quiet was shattered. Mornings were splashy instead of still. The newspaper didn't rustle, it ripped. Something needed to change. And as Goose got bigger, she only got noisier. Honk, honk. Can you honk like a little baby goose? Honk, honk, honk. Henrietta realized she had to teach Goose to behave like a proper goose. So Henrietta hatched a plan. She showed Goose how to look for food, how to follow along, how to flap her wings, how to hang on, hold on tight, here we go, and how to let go. You're flying! When Goose was grown, it really was time for her to go. Bye, Goose. You'll do great out there. Henrietta's house was quiet again, but she found that she didn't love the quiet quite so much anymore. When she dove into the dark and lost herself in her thoughts, she just felt lost. And at night, she dreamed she heard Goose honking. Then one day, the honking was real. Baby Goose, you're a mama now. Honk, honk, honk. And then we have our babies. Honk, honk, honk. Henrietta loved those noisy gosling, and the quiet was even better than before. Don't they look cozy, all snuggled up with Henrietta? And that's the goose egg. Thank you so much for joining me for our elephant stories. I had a great time with you, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.